Jesus, who is the Christ. I'm so grateful about Jesus, who is the Christ. I came to know the world evangelization through Pastor Paul from Nigeria. And then I was invited to Rwanda. That was my first conference. When I went to Rwanda, I went to Rwanda with this attitude that I'm a bishop. You can see I'm wearing my clergy. I went with this attitude to know that, you know bishops. Yeah. So I'm a big man. That's right. So when I arrived there, they must feel me. That is how I went to Rwanda. Because in my country, in South Africa, when you are a bishop, you are a very well-respected man. Oh, yes. Especially because I was ordained as a bishop and given the International Bishopric Certificate that is recognized all over the world. And having been doing ordinations and ordaining other pastors, so I felt like I'm the boss. But when I arrived in Rwanda, Bishop John from Kenya was giving lecture number 1 of the Gospel of the Bible. I felt so small. I was very disappointed with myself. I realized that I am big for nothing, both spiritually and in structure. Because I didn't know the gospel at all. I only knew Jesus, but I didn't know the gospel. I sat down to listen attentively to the lessons until the whole conference. I was not very excited when I went back home because I had a lot of introspection to do. I had to call myself to a meeting. So when I arrived home, I called myself to a meeting and we sat down, myself and Bishop Ishmael, to talk. Very, very serious engagement. And it was in that meeting whereby I realized that many a times we think we know, and yet we don't know. I prayed, I asked the Lord for forgiveness. Number 1, for fooling myself. Number 2, for all the people I have misled. Because I thought that when I'm wearing like this, doing revivals and everything, I am doing the right thing. Though I was not preaching Jesus as the Christ, I was just preaching salvation, deliverance, healing, miracles, being invited in different conferences as the preaching machine. Who is the Christ? And he received Jesus. Even now, he's still standing strong. Now, number 2, I called my leadership to a special meeting. We went and sit at the restaurant to officially apologize for misleading them and to open my heart that I have received a revelation about Jesus, who is the Christ. They had a lot of questions to ask me to say, what were you preaching to us? I said, what I was preaching to you, even myself, I didn't know. But now I am preaching something, I'm telling you something that I also received, and that has helped me, and that I know it. Then number 3, I went to the branch. This is our new branch that we started last year. I was doing deliverance, healing, breaking cases. That is what I was doing when I was going there. So now this time, this is after Rwanda. When I went back there, I wanted to introduce Jesus, who is the Christ. So I wanted to show you pictures of people who are falling before. So you see now, these ones are not falling, they are standing. So they received the gospel. You could see they are raising their hands. They have received the gospel of the Bible. Now, after that, we went to Botswana to go and help our brother Apostle Sibugunyane after we came back from Zimbabwe. Before I go here, when I went to Zimbabwe, I was with him. We went to Pastor Matthew. When we arrived in Zimbabwe, we were hijacked. They broke into our car. They stole all our particulars. I was very disappointed to say, all these years I've been preaching, I've never been hijacked. Now that I start preaching the right gospel, now all these attacks. I went back with a lot of questions to say, what is happening? Is it the right thing to do? Or God, are you trying to tell me that you have turned your back against me? But then, when I listened to the message of Pastor Cho, that when you receive this message, a lot of things will begin to happen. People will leave you, your members will leave you, the enemy will attack you. So from that message, I was very encouraged. Then we decided to go to Botswana, where we met disciples. Some of these disciples, as he has mentioned before, they are very great men in the country. They are bishops, very, very prominent men. We shared the gospel with them, as you can see. One of them that I knew before was Bishop Bagwadu, who was part of the meeting. Bishop Bagwadi is one of the men who hosted me before in Botswana, and he's a man of great influence. He was able to receive the gospel and other pastors who were there. Then we came back to South Africa. We were with Pastor Matthew. I was very touched when he shared about the coming of the Lord Jesus. Very powerfully, Pastor Cho. He shared so powerfully. And for the first time, I begin to have a zeal that I also want to be part of people who are waiting for Jesus to come. Thank you, Pastor Matthew. So here is in Botswana. That's Pastor Matthew in Botswana, as he was sharing about the gospel of the Bible. This is Bishop Bagwadu that I'm talking about. He also received the gospel. This is Pastor Pofu. This is Pastor Radibe. This is Pastor Heikel, is working in the government. Michael, yes. Yeah, from in the radio station. This is my sister. She also received the gospel. And after the conference, this is the results. Now, after that, I went to my other branch where we preached the gospel and they received it. My time is up. And I went to my other branch again. We preached the gospel that Jesus is the Christ. They also received it. There you are. Then the last one. Thank you, sir. The last one in the minute, 1 more minute that was given. We went to Ghana last week, myself and Apostle Theodoro. The reason why we went to Botswana is because I had an influence, to Ghana, is because I had an influence of gathering nations to come to my conferences. Every year I will have a conference where about 15 to 20 nations will come to my conference. But we were not preaching the gospel of the Bible. We were just coming, talking about leadership, ministerial strategies. But this time, for the first time, we went to Ghana last week to go and introduce the gospel of the Bible, that Jesus is the Christ. And that is the group that attended the conference. And as we are talking now, they are convicted. They believe that Jesus is the Christ. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you, Bishop. Yeah, he said you want to Rwanda as a bishop.
Yes, sir.
I came back as a disciple. That's good. You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm sorry to say this. Even when I was in London, I never attempted to be ordered as a bishop. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense. And people want to be bishop, archbishop, and they are doing nothing. Thank you for going to Rwanda as a bishop and coming back as a disciple of Jesus Christ. So you are not born again. All right, we're going to listen to England. Can we read here, please? Good.
Praise the Lord. I'm very pleased to be here for the first time. And I want to say thank you to Pastor Kaku Emmanuel, who is a long-time friend, also Pastor Shaw. The first time that Pastor Kaku in the manual to read it, I read the manual, but I was not touched. I had to be honest with you. For me, it was just scripture like we used to preach. Then I went back to read it more profoundly. And I found out that this is the message for the end time. You know, I live in England, especially in London. United Kingdom is a country that brought the gospels to the world. They send missionaries everywhere in the world. But today, they turn their back to God. The country is in the hand of Muslims. The most influential cities in England have for mayor some Muslims. The old church, the Church of England, is now completely dead. But the most frustrating things is that the evangelical that came from Africa and live in England, they just preach among themselves. They have an ethnic group church. For example, when the pastor is from Nigeria, all the church members are from Nigeria. If the pastor is Yoruba, all the church members are Yoruba. Same thing with the French. Meanwhile, the white British who welcome us are dying. So the country now is like, it's more like Sodom and Gomorrah. All sorts of perversion, immorality, everything you can imagine. And nothing is done. So I've been praying, asking God, Lord, what's the solution? I don't want to come to this country to only preach to the people who came with me while the whites are dying. So what's the strategy? What's the message? I've been praying. So since I came here 3 days ago, I got the solution. I got the answer. I got the message. I've been teaching leaders all my life. planting churches, teaching leaders. That's my work. Even since the time Pastor Kaku was in London, I've been preaching to leaders. I've been leading pastors till now. I have churches in England and in Ivory Coast. But what I want to say, I'm going back with this message. And I want to turn around the message that is preached in London by African churches. Amen. Because we need to win the white British. God will ask us in the last day, what have you done when I send you to England? So for me, the gospel is not a business. It's something we preach to win souls. Amen. And what I want to tell you is that this is a great opportunity for Africa. Africa's freedom will not come from politics. Africa's freedom will not come from economical power. African freedom will come from spiritual liberation, spiritual freedom. That's the key for African freedom. So we need to discipline ourselves. Don't come here just to give report. You know, this morning when our brother from Cuba was praying, he was preaching, he talked about Galatians chapter 1. And in this chapter, Paul said, when he did not ask anybody's opinion. He did not even go to Jerusalem to ask the elders. But he took the message, he took the revelation and ran with it. The greatest mistake we are making is that we come here, receive the revelation, and go out there and ask our neighbors, our friends, what do you think about what you heard? Then we get influenced. We go back, and the revelation is dead in our heart. When you get the revelation, keep it for yourself. Don't ask around what people think. It's your revelation. You came here for God to talk to you. So you don't need anybody's opinion to do what you came here to do. So what I'm asking you, my brother and sisters, catch the revelation, catch the vision, and run with it. Don't ask anybody's opinion. The only opinion you need is the Holy Spirit's opinion. Are you convinced or not? If you are convinced, run with the vision. God bless you.
Thank you. All right. As Pastor Michael says, when you go to England, really, you'll be sad. You can see churches, the old churches are turned into mosque in England. It's true.
They have good cathedrals.
Even the cathedral, they are turned for either nightclub or homes and mosques and business clubs. The buildings people are using to worship God has become an abomination in England. No, but when you go to Europe, it's sad. I told you yesterday, one of my teachers when I was in England said, the last revival is going to start from Africa. And please, God is using the Koreans to help us to raise up and go back to Europe, America, Australia, wherever we can go, because God is going to raise people to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Amen. I told you yesterday, that's 18 years ago, when my teacher told me in London. Now I'm seeing it to be fulfilled. God bless us. Thank you, Pastor. Now we are going to listen to Norway. Norwegian. Yeah, you. Thank you. After Norway, Sweden.
All right. I want to first of all thank God for the privilege to be here. And I also want to say thank you to Pastor Cho for the invitation to be a part of this gathering. I first heard about this through a friend I met in Belgium. I was preaching in a conference there, and he happened to be there. Unfortunately, he couldn't come here. Jean in Bonimpa. So when I finished preaching, he came to me and he said, "Oh, I would like to introduce you to some friends of mine." And I was open for it. So I got contacted around the 6th of October this year by a brother by name Yumin. I think he's part of the team. And then he sent me a link to some YouTube videos, and then he sent me the material on PDF. And as usual, I took time to look at the materials, and I found myself looking at the materials again and again and again. And there was only one reason for that, because the Lord had begun to do something with our hearts in the process of time. And we began to discover that, like most of you have testified here, something was missing in the way that we approach the Bible. So we began to figure out that the Bible does not have many messages, but only one message. And so what you want to do when you start feeling this way is to look for a source where you can be fed. And you realize that there is a problem, because this is not being spoken about in many places. It's very hard to come by such a revelation. But God was very graceful to us, and we started hearing just a little bit of this information from an African preacher. So we gave our whole time to it, myself and my wife, and we started to listen. But I want to make an admission here today that these past 3 days have been the most impactful time in my life as a student of the Bible, because never at any point in my life have I been seated in one place where I have been fed so much with such an enormous revelation. And I am so thankful to God for the grace that he has given Pastor Cho and his team, the insight into God's word, and to be able to share it with us in such a manner. I am totally blessed, and I am living here with a commitment. I don't want to say anything about Norway. You can Google Norway. I think this is a place you come to and you suddenly don't want to talk about yourself, and you don't even want to talk about what you've been doing. You just want to humble yourself, learn, and go out there and trust God to do something with what you have received. So I hope that maybe in the coming time, if God gives us time together, we would share a lot more. But I'm leaving this place with a very simple commitment. Is based on what Pastor Cho said, something Pastor Kakuri said, something Pastor Mo said to me, something Pastor Arnold has said, Pastor Bermudas has said it, and some of you have said it to me, that this message will become mine. I believe it is only when this becomes personal that you are able to share it with such passion and commitment. So I'm living here with this prayer in my heart that God help me to deeply understand this so that I can commit my entire life to it. And I would ask you to pray for me, and also to pray for Norway, that many others will come to this particular knowledge. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful that I could be a part of this. God bless all of you for sharing your testimonies. These are success stories for our kingdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, now the last person who's going to give his report. Sweden.
Because we have two languages here in our conference, but I choose French today. I choose French. Yes, today is French.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Nous avons beaucoup de langues ici, mais aujourd'hui j'ai choisi le français.
So you got 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Nous ne sommes pas ici par hasard.
We are not here by accident.
C'était programmé par le Seigneur
This is something that is programmed by God
que nous soyons ici.
for us to be here.
Si vous êtes content que vous êtes ici,
If you are happy to be here,
moi je suis encore plus content.
I am more happier, don't you?
Parce que j'attendais de rencontrer le Corée.
I was happy and then hopeful to encounter the team from Korea.
D'abord, il devrait y avoir une conférence en Belgique et en Italie.
And normally they're supposed to have a conference in Belgium and Italy,
Et j'avais programmé vraiment d'être là.
and I was programmed to be there,
Mais le programme était changé.
but the program didn't take place.
Donc, moi, j'attendais vraiment cette occasion.
So I was hopeful and waiting for the program.
Dans ce temps très court, je vais diviser le temps en 3 parties.
I just want to, divide the time in 3 portions.
La première partie,
The first one,
un peu mon passé.
I just want to talk a little bit about my past.
La deuxième partie,
And the second,
qu'est-ce que j'ai fait au moment où j'étais en Suède, en Norvège.
what have I done with my life when I was in Europe?
Et pourquoi cette conférence est très importante pour moi.
And why this conference is very important to me.
Et ce que je pense de faire.
What I'm thinking to do after the conference.
Je suis né au Congo-Brazzaville.
I was born in Congo, Brazza.
Et à un moment, j'aidais les missionnaires qui venaient de la Norvège. Une famille norvégienne.
At the time, I was a missionary. No, I helped a group of missionaries that came from Norway.
Je les aidais dans la mission d'évangélisation et de traduire leur prédication.
I helped them in the mission field, and then I helped them also for interpretation and all this kind of things.
Quand leur temps était fini,
And when the time came to the end,
ils ont décidé de m'amener en Norvège.
they decided to go with me back to Norway.
Je n'avais pas besoin de voir mourir à l'océan, la mer, comme les gens font. Moi, on m'avait amené.
I was not, I don't have to die on the ocean, but they took me to Norwich.
Quand arrivé là-bas,
When we arrived,
alors on partait dans plusieurs églises. J'ai donné mon témoignage.
then we are going to many churches, and I was giving my testimony.
Et les gens étaient contents de
And people
voir
were
le fruit de la
very,
mission.
very happy to see the fruit of the mission.
Pourquoi je dis cela, je raconte cela?
Why am I talking about
Ceci sera
all those kind of things?
important pour l'avenir
Et-
quand on va approcher, parce que je connais, j'ai des relations, des contacts.
Vous savez, it is very important for the future because I have many contacts, many relationships.
Après, je suis rentré pour devenir docteur médecin à l'université en Norvège.
And
En
after
Norvège.
that,
Dans les études, je suis rentré à l'université pour
in
devenir.
the University of Norwich.
Et en Norvège pour faire les études de la médecine.
In Norwich, to study about doctor degrees of medicine.
Mais en même temps, je prêchais.
And I was learning about medicine at the same time I'm preaching.
Mais après, je me suis déménagé en Suède.
And after that, I go back to Sweden.
Quand je suis arrivé en Suède,
And when I arrived there,
c'est pour continuer de faire la médecine.
and I was, studying medicine.
Une fois quand j'étudiais,
And when I was studying,
c'était la pathologie.
I was studying about
La pathologie.
pathology.
Alors, brusquement, c'est-à-dire le livre se forme au cinéma, comme un film, je vois.
And suddenly it is like a film I'm watching.
Et je vois les gens qui s'en vont à l'enfer.
And I'm seeing people that is going to hell.
Les gens qui se suicident.
And people that are
Et j'entends le Seigneur qui me dit qu'il faut aller prêcher.
And I hear the Lord say to me, go and preach.
Moi, je suis la voie.
I am the way.
Moi, je suis le chemin.
I am the way.
Je suis la vérité.
I am the truth.
Donc, voix, je suis la vie.
I am the
Va
life.
prêcher pour eux.
Go and preach.
Donc, le cœur, vraiment, ça a brûlé.
My heart was burning.
Donc, je me suis décidé d'aller prêcher.
I was decided to go and preach.
Donc, je commençais à prêcher et les gens venaient.
And I was preaching.
Quand les gens venaient, les gens commençaient à être guéris.
And people are getting healed.
Et les gens, il y avait des miracles.
And I was seeing miracles.
Et après, je ne pouvais plus continuer les études de la médecine.
And then I have to stop the learning of the medicine.
Pour être court,
Briefly,
et alors, une fois le Seigneur me dit,
once again the Lord said,
c'est pas seulement de prêcher pour eux,
it is not to preach to them,
il faut être berger pour eux.
but you have to be a leader for them.
Alors, maintenant, je me suis décidé d'ouvrir une église.
And then I decided to open a church.
Et j'ai laissé la médecine.
leave behind the medicine.
C'était pas facile.
And it was not
Parce que je savais d'être médecin, le salaire est très élevé.
The payment
Mais je laissé.
is great.
Mais quand je commençais avec l'église,
And I start with the church.
et c'est là que Pasteur Kaku, il est venu en Suède.
And then Pastor Kaku visited me in Sweden.
Et il venait à l'église.
Je prêchais. And I was preaching.
Sans savoir que c'est celui qui est là. Un jour, c'est celui qui va m'emmener ici.
And I didn't know that the one that visited me will be the one that will bring me in Ethiopia today.
Et après un moment, je prêchais les miracles. J'étais invité partout pour prêcher. Il y avait des miracles.
Inviting me everywhere.
C'est le succès dans la vie.
And it was
Comment réussir dans la vie?
Life. How can you succeed in life?
C'est ça que je prêchais.
That is the topic. That is the sermon I'm preaching
Quand
about.
j'avais commencé l'église, le Seigneur m'avait dit,
And when I started the church, the Lord
l'église
said,
va s'appeler Messiah Church.
the name of the l'église is Messiah Church.
Et
That's
je
the
n'avais
name.
pas compris qu'est-ce qu'il voulait dire par Messiah Church.
And I didn't understand the meaning of the name Messiah Church.
Après un moment,
Then after a time,
je me suis retiré de l'église.
then I
Il
go
y avait quelque chose qui n'était pas juste.
in my heart.
Les gens tombent sur terre, à
People are
terre,
falling down,
mais les gens ne changent pas.
but there is nothing happening.
Les gens ne
Their
changent pas.
Their life is not
Non, il y
changing.
a quelque chose qui ne va pas.
Something is missing.
Alors après, quand j'ai laissé,
Then when I
les
leave,
amis me disent, il faut refaire l'église.
the Lord said, and reform the church.
Moi, je me rappelle même mon frère me dit, mais il faut encore l'église.
Mon frère Emmanuel was
Je
telling
dis
me,
non,
restart the
il
church.
doit avoir quelque chose.
I said, no, there is
Il
something.
doit avoir quelque chose.
Something is missing somewhere.
Jusqu'à ce que, une fois, j'ai vu dans Facebook,
And one day I just saw on his Facebook,
il était en route vers Sud-Corée.
and the guy was on his way towards South Korea.
Je dis, qu'est-ce qu'il va faire
I said,
là-bas?
what are you going to do in South Korea?
Je l'ai appelé.
And I called him.
Et puis, il m'appelle de la Corée du Sud.
And he called me back from South
Ah,
Korea.
mon frère, je veux te raconter ça.
Yeah, my friend, I want to.
Dès que je
share this
retourne,
with
il faut
you.
que je te raconte.
When I'll be back, I'll share this with you.
Donc, quand il est revenu,
Then when he returned back,
il me rappelle de la Corée du Sud.
he called me.
Et moi, j'ai dit d'abord, est-ce que c'est Yongishu? J'avais pas entendu
And
parler
I was
de...
asking him, is it about Yongisho?
No,
That's
c'est
what he
autre chose.
went to Korea. This is not Yongisho, this is something else.
Et puis, il me raconte.
And then he started
Il
sharing with me.
m'envoie les informations.
Send me the information.
Comme le frère Marc de l'Angleterre.
As our friend from England said it, right?
C'est trop simple, ça, c'est simple.
And when I saw that, I said, this is very simple.
Mais après, je lis encore.
Then after I took time, I read again.
Et le frère me dit, il faudrait vraiment continuer de faire des
And
études.
Emmanuel told me, you just read it. And
Quand
read
j'ai
it more.
étudié,
And I was
j'ai
telling
vu,
him.
mais ça c'est vrai.
And
Non,
now
Jésus
I
est le Christ.
discovered that this is
Jésus
true.
est le Christ.
Jesus is the
Je
Christ.
contacte la Corée du Sud.
And I was very happy about South
Je
Korea.
tombe sur la sœur Soya.
I contacted South Korea and then I raised
Elle m'envoie les 27 leçons.
and then they sent me scripture.
J'ai commencé à entendre, écouter.
They sent me the 27
J'ai dit,
lessons.
ça, c'est ça que
I said,
j'attendais.
and this is what I'm
Maintenant,
waiting for.
je suis prêt.
Then I'm here and
D'aller
I'm
maintenant.
ready. I have to
I'm ready now.
I'm ready.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Donc, comme mon cœur, je vais terminer bientôt.
Then I want to end up.
Mon
Right.
cœur, c'est comme divisé en deux.
It is like my heart was divided in two.
Un côté, c'est l'Afrique.
This part is Africa
Et un autre côté, la Suède.
and this
L'Europe.
part is Europe.
Parce que quand j'avais fait l'église,
When I was leading the
j'étais le
church,
seul noir en Suède
I was the only black man.
qui faisait l'église des Blancs, avec les Blancs.
I was the one
Seulement les
black man
Blancs.
that had church when you can see right people.
Parce que moi, je savais que le Suédois, les Blancs étaient venus chez nous avec l'évangile. Nous devrons revenir avec l'évangile chez eux. Parce que leur église était comme morte.
Because I knew that the Europeans come first with the gospel, but now this is the time that we have to return to them with the gospel.
Et maintenant, avant de venir ici,
And before I come here,
j'avais contacté un frère.
I contacted a friend.
Un frère qui est suédois,
A friend is a right man.
pasteur.
He's a pastor.
On était même parti en Roumanie. Il a des contacts
And we went to
en Roumanie.
Romania, and then we have some contact with
Et
us.
je lui ai dit que quand je reviens de l'Éthiopie,
And I said,
je dois te rencontrer.
when I'll be back from Ethiopia,
Parce que
I'll
je
meet
vois
you.
déjà que il dit, je t'attends.
he was waiting for me.
Pour qu'on puisse maintenant vraiment avec l'évangile.
And then we want to take over now with the gospel.
Et après, j'avais contacté même au Congo un pasteur.
I contacted some friends, pastors in Congo.
Et je lui avais donné même le contact. D'abord,
and I sent the contact back to ceux.
Avant tout, pendant ce temps-là que je n'ai pas eu l'église, on m'a invité de venir prêcher, de faire des conférences, je refusais.
And in those periods of time when I wasn't having church, they invited me to come and preach. I said no.
Mais maintenant, on m'a invité à Congo-Brazzaville pour une conférence.
Now they invited me in Congo-Brazzaville for a conference.
Et j'ai dit oui.
And I said yes.
Parce que j'ai un programme.
Because
je veux rassembler les pasteurs. Prêcher que Christ, Jésus est le Christ. Maintenant, il n'y a pas vraiment la religion.
Now there's nothing about religion.
Oh mon cœur, maintenant, je veux repartir. Merci beaucoup, je remercie le pasteur Jean, le team et la sœur Soye qui est très et tout le team, que Dieu vous bénisse. Prochainement, on a beaucoup de choses à vous dire.
Hey, we have a lot to share with you. God bless you.
You know what, I'm laughing. When I was in Korea, the second of the conference, I was in my room. I was a pastor from Burundi. Yes. In the morning, I was on the phone with somebody, and he said, it seems like you got a contact. I'm calling a friend of mine from Sweden. And when I went back home, automatically I sent him the materials. When we were talking about this material, we sat on the phone for hours because he wanted me to convince him. Every time when you just read it and pray. Because I know you. If I'm going to say something you dislike, I may lose you. Just read and pray. And one day he called me and said, yeah, your thing, tell me more. Okay. Now I see that he was coming. I'm going to put you in contact with Korea. Go to the source. Then you get more information. Thank you for your testimony. God bless you. I'm really happy that you are here. It's a great man of God. And I know Congo and East Africa, he's going to do great job. It seems like Pastor Michael London is one of the most influential pastors in African community, with the Cameroonians and Congolese, Burkina, all of them. So that's why I was praying that you get the vision and come here. One day, story wrote to me, said, do you think we can invite Pastor Michael? I said, just invite him. I know if he comes, he will help us to read Europe. Amen. So we are counting on you people. Okay, Norway.
There is a way now.
There's a way now. All right, thank you for your on WhatsApp, whatever. That's one. And this email, what I'm going to say, please, listen what I'm saying. Make sure that every week you open your email to see what is in it. Please. Because I like to communicate. Yeah.
So, Mr. Chair, don't you think it will be a long process for us to give you the input since we're already together on that World Evangelization or Maranatha, so we can just read forward to your box, unless there are friends that are coming now, that the ones who can add that. Since we're already on that contact, it becomes easy. Are we on the meeting already?
Sorry?
Are we on the meeting? What if you pass this weekend? If you are not on the meeting, I think I can discuss.
Okay, sorry. Since we are here,
Yes.
it doesn't cost us to write on paper.
Okay, then let's, what you say, let's have a paper go around, we write, than giving individual papers. Let's have a paper go around.
Okay. All right, what we are going to say, as I say, please, may I have your attention, please? I need your attention, please. I need your attention. Please, make sure every week you open your email. Because before coming here, sometimes I get frustrated that I send message to some of people onto their WhatsApp, and it may take a week, they don't open it. I have to use my phone to contact them. And you know how it costs to call from country to country in Africa. So please make sure that every week you open your email to see if there is an information. Because I don't want you to call me every day. I will not answer you. You understand what I mean? Because I don't want to say, oh, this man, when we call him, he doesn't answer. I can answer you when you insist. I want to listen to you, maybe just for 10 or 15 minutes, and I will tell you what to do. But with the email, every day I will open my email, and if there's something I can face it, I will do it. If I'm unable to do it, I will send a message to Korea. You understand? So please make sure that every week, the minimum I will not say every day, but at least every week, open your email. Okay? All right. The second thing I'm going to share with you is dedication. There has been more things that we have heard. I'm not going to say Jesus is the Christ. We all know that Jesus is the Christ. We got the right message, we got a good message, but one thing I'm going to ask you is dedicate yourself. If you really understand the message, you have got the vision, please dedicate yourself for what we are doing. As I said in the morning, the minimum time I spend with World Evangelization is not less than 15 hours a day since I came back from Korea. Because why am I doing this? Because I know this is good to do. This is good to do. Why to neglect something that is good? You can save people. You can ask Pastor Martin and the others. I've got a friend over. I call them, I encourage them. We talk about the church and even in Côte d'Ivoire. So I've tried to dedicate myself to dedicate myself for what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you that do the way I do it, but all that I can tell you, please, in the name of Jesus Christ, use at least 5 hours a day. At least 5 hours a day. 5 hours is nothing. In 24 hours. In those times, please take time to go deeply about with the material. The privilege I got when I got this material with Pastor Paul Obona, I dedicated myself to translate it in French. The Korean did not ask me because when I read the material, I said, this is good. This is good. The French speaking must get this to preach in the churches. You know how long it took me to translate that? Almost 2 months, day and night. Day and night. When I start in the morning, like 8 o'clock, the time I finish is 10. When I finish, I eat and I go to bed. Because I know this is good. Something good we have to support. Please dedicate yourself. Don't just come here to impress people. Oh, Jesus is Lord. This is we do his. We're going to train. We're going to helicopter. We're going to this is a picture. To me, sorry, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I want to be honest with you. Because when I do my presentation, you know, I didn't take that more time to do it. Because I don't want to impress the Koreans. But I want them to see the fruits about what I'm doing. So please, I want to beg you, because these people are spending money to help us. Let's encourage them. Please. Can I continue?
Continue.
Thank you.
You said 15 minutes, so you have 5 minutes.
You can't go to say, I'm going to save my country without getting statistics about your country. You cannot know what you are getting yourself involved. As I show you the statistics in my country, my target from now to year 2025, I pray that I will get dedicated people that we can invest, change the statistics to see that God is doing something in my country. Because if you don't know what you are doing, it's like you will do 1 year, 2 years. When you don't see the result, you get discouraged. So get the statistic. What am I going to do? Because if you don't have the statistic, even people who they are following you, if they don't get the result, they may leave you. You understand what I'm saying? So get a statistic and know what you have to start. That's why I gave you the email. If you don't know how to do it, I can help you. Okay? If you don't know how to do it, I can help you. Because our target is to raise leaders to save our continent. I can't do it on my own. But my experience, my experience, your experience, our experience, we can save our continent. This is the last one, the targets. Who are we targeting? Listen, your mission is to save your country, and when you are going to evangelize people in the streets, how long it will take for you to save your country? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you are going on the street, how long are you going to do it? In my country, we have 25 million. If I'm going on the street to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, think about it. How long am I going to reach all these 25 people? 25 million people. And I will not do it, I will die. No, I will not do it. It's not possible. So, know who you can target. Now, right now, what I'm doing, I'm targeting leaders, church leaders, pastors, prophets, anyone who preaches the gospel. When I got his number, I call him. Or can I come and see you? And I share with them. Because I know if I get one pastor and who is running a church, I can get the whole congregation. So please look at who you can win to help you. You understand what I'm saying? I go on radio I preach on Facebook for those who we are friends on Facebook. Every single Sunday, 4:30 p.m., I have 1 hour to preach the gospel of the Bible. Every Sunday. Even if I'm tired, I dedicated myself for that period to preach the gospel on Facebook. Because I want to reach people. Because if I'm going to one by one on the street, I know I will fail. And let's think about it. It's all of us. We are doing the same strategy. Not mine, but we can share the strategies. How you are doing yours. Maybe mine is not correct way, but I can use yours and add mine. You can use mine and add yours, and we can go faster. As I told Pastor Joe last Tuesday, if God willing, they spent 5 years in Latin America. If we get right people in Africa, we will go before 3 or 4 years. We can win the whole Africa. Please listen to what I'm saying. We have a duty before men and before God. As I said this morning, I'm not doing it for Pastor Cho. Those who were with us in Korea, I told them about my testimony. 8 years ago, I stopped preaching, healing, revelation. I stopped because I knew something was wrong with my message. I didn't know the Korean. That's why when I got the message, this is what I was looking for. So let this be your burden. Please let this be your burden. I want to end up with this. I want to thank Pastor Joe and the Korean team for trusting me to give me this responsibility. I know it's a huge task. But the Bible says what is impossible for men is possible for God. And I'm going to work with God. I'm going to work with you. I'll talk to Pastor Cho, my plan to work with all of you. But believe not, I'm somebody who I'm really strict about what I do. I'm very strict about what I do, even with my children. So when they grow up, I let them say, oh, this one getting older now, we are free. That's why I told you, make sure that every week you open your email. Because if you don't open your email, you ask me something that is already in your mail, I will not listen to you. Is that okay? Yes. It's not that I'm proud, because we have to get principle to work, because we are going to save Africa. Africa is 54 countries. It's not something we have to joke with. I spoke with Pastor Michelle from London and Pastor Martin from Sweden. We talked about Africa. I didn't know that I was going to be a leader for Africa. I didn't know that. But we talked about what to do, how to raise money to help each one of us to do what we have to do. So, if we are really going to do the work, we need to talk to each other. We need to share our experiences, our frustrations, our victories. Then, the time will come when we can gather without even the Korean team. Because Pastor told us that now the Latin America they don't need him anymore. Am I right?
Yeah.
So how long are we going to take that? We will not need Pastor Cho and the Korean team. From now, please, we will need you because we are kids. But we promise from till we say, let's say, year 2023 or 2025, we will send missionary to Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were. Yeah, because people who live in Europe, spiritually speaking, Europe is a disaster. Disaster. Abomination. But Europe needs you. The disciple I got in Africa, I always used to tell them, don't follow me because you will get opportunity. Follow me because I want to make you a disciple so that I can send you to other countries. Amen. And they know that. They know that I don't joke. So thank you for listening to me. And I believe that we will do the work. Who can save his? Who is going to save his country? Are you sure you're going to save your country? Yes. God has seen your hands. So we need a. All right, thank you. And I'm going to call upon Pastor Cho for his last speech.
저 이제 필요한 말만 짧게 하도록 하겠습니다.
So I'm going to share what's necessary very briefly.
자, 우리의 기준을 우리 다시 오실 주님의 초점을 맞춰서 얘기를 한번 해보겠습니다.
So let's talk about the standard again, and our standard will be focused on the coming of the Lord.
저는 복음을 받고 계시를 받았다고 하면서도 결국 자기 생각에 이렇게 부딪히는 아니면 자기 생각에 이 계시가 굴복되는 그런 모습들을 많이 봤습니다.
So I've seen many people who confess that, oh, I have received the revelation, now I believe, but because of their own thoughts and because of their traditions, they have been submitted to their previous thoughts.
복음을 받았음에도 불구하고 자기 생각을 못 넘는 사람들입니다.
So they couldn't go beyond their own thoughts even after receiving the gospel.
이 자리에 꼭 있어야 되는데 지금 안 보이는 사람들이 몇 명 있을 겁니다.
So there are a few number of people who should be here, but however, who are not here.
카코를 초청했던 그런 인물.
You know, the person who invited Pastor Kako.
몇 명이 있습니다.
You know, few people.
저는 계속 봤습니다.
Because I've watched them.
분명 많은 역할을 했습니다.
And they played a big role.
하지만 정확하게 봤습니다.
However, I tried to look at them, observe them precisely.
과연 그 나라와 그 대륙을 살릴 만한 적합한 인물인가?
Is it the right person to save his country and his nation?
아니면 이 복음을 가지고 결국 자기의 유익을 위해서 살 사람인가?
Or with this gospel, will we use it for his personal benefit?
저는 그 나라를 살릴 수 있는 사람이 아니라고 결론 내렸습니다.
And I came to the conclusion that he is not the right person to save his country.
또 이런 경우들이 있습니다.
Or there's another situation like
지금
this.
우리 세대 내에 세계복음을 감당하기 위해서 뛰는 중에 정말 앞자리에 계셨던 분들이 계세요.
There have been few number of people who have been at the very frontier of this whole thing.
많은 역할들을 했던 분이 계십니다.
And they played a big role in world evangelization in our days.
어느 순간에 사라지셨습니다.
However, at one point, they're gone.
이거 좋은 거니까 내가 어떻게 해볼 수 있겠다.
Wow, this is so good, and I can do something with it.
굳이 이 팀에 속하지 않아도 내가 대단한 걸 해낼 수 있겠다.
I don't need to be part of this team, but I can still utilize this for the better things.
그래서 스스로 가거나 아니면 하나님이 선별해 내시거나 그런 작업들이 있었습니다.
So what happened was that they walked away themselves, or God selected them out.
그들의 특징이 뭐냐면
So what is the characteristic of them?
본인의 생각을 복음 앞에 이렇게 굴복되기보다는 복음을 가지고 본인의 생각대로 이용하려고 하는 사람들이었습니다.
Instead of submitting their thoughts to the gospel, they utilize the gospel to fulfill what they think is right.
여러분 정말로 세계복음을 하셔야 됩니다.
We really need to do the world evangelization.
제가 얘기를 해보겠습니다.
So let me tell you.
여기 여러분의 나라를 살릴 대표라고 지금 이 자리에 앉아 있습니다.
So you are called as a representative to save your own country.
한번 생각해 보세요.
But think about it.
내가 사역을 하는 중에 다른 나라에 문이 열렸어.
So let's say, as I do my ministry, the doors to another country is opened.
그 나라에 들어가려고 하는데 이 담당자가 들어오지 마 이렇게 얘기를 한다 칩시다.
Let's say, oh, I'm trying to go enter that country. However, the representative of the country is saying that no, don't come.
이 나라는 내가 책임져야 돼.
I'm responsible for this country, so
자,
don't come.
만약 이런 일이 있다.
If that ever happens,
올바른 것일까요?
is it correct?
또 두 번째,
Number two.
분명히 나라 대표가 있는데
Okay, there is a representative of this country.
의논하지 않고 그냥 마음껏 막 이렇게 돌아다니는 거 그건 또 어떻게 생각하세요?
What do you think about this person who entered the country without calling the brother and just do whatever he wants?
앞에도 문제고 후자도 문제인 것
So
같습니다.
the first case is a problem and the second case is also a problem.
내 혼자 하겠다는 거예요.
Oh, I'm gonna do it by myself
내가 잘하니까.
because I'm good.
기본적으로 전 세계를 살리고자 하는 마인드가 없는 사람들이
Which means he does not have this mindset to save the whole world.
분명히 얘기합니다.
Let me tell you,
여러분 혼자서 세계복음만 못합니다.
you cannot do the world evangelization by yourself.
제 얘기를 좀 해보겠습니다.
So let me tell you about me.
저는 빨리 깨달았어요.
I realized it very quickly.
내가 내 혼자 세계복음만 못한다는 걸 깨달았어요.
I realized that I cannot complete the world evangelization by myself.
그리고 결국 모든 제자들이 모든 사람들이 저를 따라오게 해서도 세계복음 안 된다는 걸 깨달았어요.
And I also realized that if everybody follows me, then that will not be beneficial for the world
그래서
evangelization.
할 수 있으면 스승의 자리에 서지 않으려고 제가 발부둥 칩니다.
So I always try to not to stand at the position of a teacher.
저하고 집회를 다녀보신 분들은 아실 겁니다.
And I know some of you who went to conference with me, you have seen it.
저는 항상 뒷자리에 앉습니다.
I always sit at the back.
뒷자리에 앉는 이유가 있습니다.
Why?
나는 스승이 아니란 뜻이죠.
Because that means I'm not a teacher.
이 복음을 단지 하나님께서 저에게 먼저 주셨을 뿐입니다.
It's just that I have received this gospel earlier than other people.
그리고 여러분하고 동력하기를 원하기 때문에 그렇습니다.
And I want to work together with you.
제가 뛰어가고 여러분이 따라하고 이런 관계가 아니라
It's not like I'm running and then you're following me.
여러분과 하나 되어서 거대하게 굴러가기를 원합니다.
I want to become one with you, and I want to work together with you.
그래야지 훨씬 빨리 세계복음화 되기 때문에 그렇습니다.
It is because that's how we can facilitate the world evangelization process and make it faster.
그래서 제가 뒤에 앉는 이유입니다.
That's why I always sit at the back.
그리고 또 여러분을 지켜보기 위한 것입니다.
Of course, and there's another reason that I want to observe you.
저는 끝까지 지켜볼 겁니다.
To the end, I'm going to observe you.
누가 세계복음화 할 만한 제자인가?
Who is the disciple who will save the world?
누가 자기 생각을 뛰어넘어서 세계복음을 위해서 올인할 수 있는 제자인가?
Who is the disciple who can overcome their own thoughts and tradition and give everything for this purpose?
성경에 보십시오.
Look at the Bible.
끝까지 바울을 도왔던 사람이 있습니다.
There are people who helped Paul to the end.
하지만 중요한 때에 등을 돌렸던 인물들도 있었습니다.
However, also there were other disciples who turned their back from Paul at a very critical
항상
moment.
중요한 역할을 하던 사람이 등을 돌립니다.
But these people who played such an important role, they turned their back away.
사역에 굉장한 타격이 갑니다.
That would attack and that would damage the ministry a lot.
그래서 누가 세계복음할 자인지를 지켜보는 겁니다.
So that's why I observe very closely who will be the one who will complete the world evangelization.
떨어뜨리는데 제 주 목적이 있는 게 아니에요.
My purpose is not to, select them out.
쟤는 아니다라고 떨어뜨리는데 있지 않고
My purpose is not to tell them that you are not.
진짜 제대로 된 사람을 세우는 것에 목적이 있는 거예요.
My goal is to raise up the rightful person for this purpose.
그리고 다시 얘기합니다.
So let me tell you,
세계복음화 우리 살아있을 때 세계복음화 하는데 뭐가 유익하겠다.
what is beneficial for world evangelization in our days?
여러분의 왕국을 만들지 마세요.
Do not make your own kingdom.
여기는 손대지 못해. 이런 생각을 하지 마세요.
Don't say that, you cannot touch this area.
또 내가 잘하니까 내 혼자 돌아다니겠다. 그런 생각도 하지 마세요.
Or don't say that I'm good on my own anyway, so I'm gonna do it by myself.
둘 다 장성하지 못합니다.
So they are not grown up.
할 수만 있으면 연합하세요.
The more you can, as more as you can, please
그게
unite
훨씬 빨리
with each
성장하는
other.
겁니다.
You will be able to grow a lot much faster.
옆 나라에 있는 제자들을 초청해서 같이 사역하시고
Invite other disciples from neighboring countries
그리고 서로 도우세요.
and help each other.
이런 부탁을 드립니다.
Please, I ask of you.
저는 지금까지 메시지를 하면서 사례를 받아본 적이 없습니다.
I never been paid when I give a message.
다른 나라에 가서 사역을 하는 거죠.
When I go to another country, I never receive any payment for my message.
사례를 받지 않는 이유는 두 가지 때문입니다.
There are two reasons why I do not receive.
하나는
Number one,
이 정도의 사례를 받을 만큼 그 정도 수준 낮지 않다는 거죠. 제가 전하는 메시지가.
my message is not that cheap, or my message is not cheap.
돈 몇 푼에 바꿀 수 있는 메시지가 아닙니다.
It's not the message to sell for that little amount of money.
겨우 몇 푼 받을 수 있는 그 정도의 메시지가 아니에요.
It is more than the little amount of money.
그래서 자존심이 상합니다.
So it hurts my pride.
그래서 메시지를 이 사례를 받지 않습니다.
That's why I never receive any compensation for my message.
메시지를 하고 나서 사례 받는 그런 문화는 제가 볼 때 극히 좋지 않은 문화라고 생각합니다.
I think it's not a good culture when you receive compensation after preaching the gospel.
목사가 장사하는 방법입니다.
And it's the way of a pastor to do the business.
여러분 그렇게 하지 않으셨으면
And I
좋겠어요.
hope you will not do that.
두 번째는
Number two,
제가 사례를 받지 않는 이유는
why am I not receiving money?
자비량의 문화를 만들고 싶어서 그렇습니다.
Because I want to make a culture of a tent maker.
저는 하늘의 상급을 기대합니다.
Because I'm looking forward to the award from heaven.
그래서 더 헌신하려고 합니다.
And I want to dedicate even more.
이 땅에서 받기보다 하늘의 상급 받기 위해서 더 헌신하는.
Because on this earth, I don't really want to receive a lot of things. I want to receive it in the heaven.
아프리카에도 그랬으면
In
좋겠습니다.
Africa, I hope you will have the same heart.
여러분이 어느 나라 가든지 그 어떤 것도 바라지 않고 가시고
Wherever you go, please do not ask anything from the country.
또 여러분들이 어떤 분들 보실 때 저분들은 사례 안 줘도 괜찮으니까 아무렇지도 않게 그렇게 생각하지도 마시고
Also, when you receive somebody or saying, oh, I don't need to pay him, okay, whatever. No, it's not like that.
모시는 분도 기쁨으로 가시는 분도 즐거움으로
Okay, whoever invites somebody, they do it with the joy, and whoever goes somewhere else, they will do it with the joy.
그게 서로서로 돕는 문화입니다.
It's helping each other. That kind of culture should be implanted.
그래야지 여러분이 성장합니다.
Only then you will be able to grow.
여러분의 그 중심을 하나님이 아세요.
And God knows your heart.
여러분의 마음을 하나님이 아세요.
God knows what you're thinking.
그런 마음으로 이 아프리카가 하나 되기를 간절히 원합니다.
With that kind of heart, I hope whole Africa will be united as one.
경제가 어렵다는 걸 알고 있습니다.
I know economy is difficult.
하지만 경제가 어렵다는 걸 하나님도 알고 있습니다.
But God also knows about your economic situation.
제가 아프리카 멤버들 도울 때 이런 어려움이 있었습니다.
So as I am helping African people, this is my difficulty.
예를 들면 저 이렇게 라고스에서 이런 내 얘기해야 되겠는데 라고스에서 이제 비행기를 타고 한국으로 와야 되는 상황이 벌어졌어요.
So, for example, this one disciple had to fly from Lagos to Korea.
티켓을 끊어줬습니다.
So I got a ticket for him,
연락이 왔습니다.
but he called me.
라고스를 갈 돈이 없다는 거예요.
I have no money to go to Lagos.
그래서 라고스를 갈 비행기도 끊어달라고 요청이 왔습니다.
So please buy a ticket for me to go to Lagos.
그럼 라고스를 돌아오면서 또 다른 데를 가야 된다.
And he said, oh, I also need to go to somewhere else from Lagos later
자기가 돈이
on.
없기 때문에 그것도 티켓팅을 해주라고 얘기를
But
했어요.
since I have no money, so please pay for my ticket.
저는 그 마음이 좀 아쉬웠습니다.
So I was kind of sad about his intention.
저는 이런 마음이에요.
This is the heart that I have.
내가 저기 가야 돼.
I need to go there,
돈이 없어요.
but I have no money.
만약에 걸어간다면,
Then I will walk.
걸어간다면,
What if I walk?
그 사실을 제가 안다면,
If I know that,
그 모든 걸 제가 책임질 겁니다.
but let's say the man is saying that I don't have money, so I'm gonna walk. Then if I know the fact, then I'm gonna support everything.
내가 가야 되는데 돈이 없지만 이것 때문에라도 내가 밤을 새서라도 걸어가는 그런 중심이 있으면 그 사실을 안다면 제가 모든 것을 책임져 드릴 수 있을 겁니다.
If he had this heart, okay, I don't have money, but I have to go there, so all night I'm gonna walk towards that direction. If I knew about the fact, then I would support that person with everything.
하지만 그런 마음을 제가 보질 못했어요.
However, I did not see that kind of heart from him.
마치 한국을 은행으로 생각하는 것 같습니다.
It's like they kind of consider Korea as their own personal bank.
저기 가야 되니까 돈 주세요.
Please give me this money. I need to go there.
저기 가야 되는데 비행기 티켓
I need to
주세요.
go this place. Buy me a flight ticket.
그래 생각했습니다.
So that's how they regarded Korea.
과연 순교할 때 할 수 있을까 저 사람?
With that kind of heart, will he be able to give his life when somebody else threaten his life?
복음 때문에 모든 것을 내놓을 때 내놓을 수 있을까?
Will he be able to give everything for the purpose of the gospel?
저는 아니라고 생각했습니다.
I don't think so.
여러분한테 부탁을 드립니다.
So I really ask of you.
여러분의 상황이 열악하다는 걸 알고 있습니다.
I understand very much well that your situation is not great.
하지만 그 사실 또한 하나님이 알고 있습니다.
But God knows that as well.
여러분의 위치에서 정말 믿음으로 여러분의 나라와 여러분의 대륙을 살리기 위해서 한번 도전해 보십시오.
Please challenge your situation, challenge yourself wherever you are.
여러분이 목숨을 걸면
If you stake your life,
여러분이 목숨 걸고 있다는 사실을 누군가는 알고 있을 겁니다.
someone will know it.
그 사람이 여러분을 위해서 목숨을 걸을 겁니다.
Then that person will stake their life to you.
제발 뭔가 보장되기 때문에 걸어가는 그런 인생을 살지 마세요.
Please do not live the life because something is guaranteed for you.
모든 것이 준비됐기 때문에 뛰어라. 아닙니다.
Oh, everything has been prepared so well, so I'm gonna run. No, it's not like that.
요단강을 갈라놓고 그게 건너가라고 하지 않았습니다.
God didn't say, okay, walk through the river or Jordan after splitting it.
믿음으로 제사장의 발이 그 물에 닿을 때 강이 갈라졌습니다.
When with the faith, when the priest stepped on the water, the river of Jordan got splitted.
아프리카 제자들에게 부탁을 드립니다.
So I really ask of you, African disciples.
여러분 오늘 여러분 스스로 결정할 수 있을 겁니다.
So today you can decide.
여러분이 교회만 도울지.
I will just help my church.
아니면 여러분이 사역만 열심히 할지.
Or I will do my best with my ministry only.
아니면 정말 여러분의 나라를 살릴지.
Or I'm going to save my country.
아니면 정말로 아프리카와 전 세계를 살릴지를 여러분이 사실 여러분 마음속으로 지금 결정할 수 있을 것입니다.
Or you can even decide that I'm going to save the whole Africa and whole world.
여러분의 결정이 결국 나타나게 돼 있습니다.
And that kind of decision will come as a result.
저는 정말 주님의 제대를 위해서 아프리카와 세계복음 할 자들에게 지금 얘기하고 있는 겁니다.
Right now, I'm waiting for the coming of the Lord. I'm talking with the African disciples who will do that task.
여러분의 생각과 마음을 내려놓으시고
Please put aside your thoughts and
정말
your
당대
traditions
세계복음만 유익되도록 움직이시길 바랍니다.
and move according to this direction. What is beneficial for world evangelization?
내가 최고가 되고 나를 따라오고 이런 수준 말고
Please don't play saying that I'm gonna be the best. Please follow me.
같이 굴러가야 된다는 생각을 하십시오.
We need to go together.
그래서 제자들끼리 하나가 되시고
So unite each other.
서로 도움을 주시고
Help each other.
많은 일들이 아프리카 일어나게 되기를 바랍니다.
And I truly hope that many things will take place in Africa.
자, 두 번째 얘기를 해보겠습니다.
So next thing.
그동안 아프리카의 짧은 시간 동안 문이 폭발적으로 열렸습니다.
So within the short period of time, many doors of African continent have been opened.
제가 작년 12월에 처음으로 아프리카를 들어왔습니다.
So last year, December, I first entered Africa.
만으로 1년이 지나지 않았습니다.
And it has less than a year.
30몇 개 나라의 문이 열렸습니다.
But now doors to 30 different nations have been opened.
그리고 각 나라에서 놀라운 일들이 지금 일어나고 있습니다.
And amazing things are happening in different countries.
이것만 보더라도 하나님이 행하셨다는 것을 여러분이 알게 될 겁니다.
And only looking at that, you can say that, this is what God is doing.
근데 지난 1년 동안 우리가 놓친 게 있어요.
However, there is one thing that we have been missing.
연합해서 같이 사역하는 걸 놓쳤습니다.
Working together as one, we have been missing that out.
그냥 각자의 나라에서 각자의 수준으로 각자의 소견대로 해왔습니다.
People have been doing their ministry according to their level, according to their understanding and thoughts.
이제 그 시간도가 지나가고 있습니다. 그 때가 지나가고
So
있습니다.
now that timing has gone by.
새로운 때가 왔습니다.
We have a new timing.
저는 이 모든 부분들에 있어서 새로운 리더를 통해서 이 모든 것들이 개선돼야 된다고 이 아프리카를 계속 생각하면서 기도하고 있었습니다.
So I've been really praying and thinking, and we need to restore this area. And I've been really praying for the leader of Africa.
사실 카카오의 인생을 그렇게 준비하신 것 같습니다.
And I believe that God has prepared the life of Kakao.
저 성향을 주께서 준비하신 것
And I
같습니다.
think God has prepared the character of
그리고
him.
정말 오랫동안 정말 내 나라를 어떻게 살릴까, 세계를 어떻게 살릴까 진실로 고민하는 사람들 제가 만나본 적이 거의 없습니다.
Because I don't really meet a lot of people who really think that how can I save my country, how can I save the world?
개인적으로 20몇 년 동안 제가 했던 고민입니다.
But how I personally have that thoughts in my mind over 20 years.
실제로 그렇게 고민하고 실제로 그렇게 사역하는 사람 제가 거의 본 적이 없어요.
However, I don't really encounter a lot of people who actually have their questions in their mind and do their ministry according to that question.
이제 아프리카가 연합돼서 거대하게 들어야 됩니다.
Now the whole Africa should be united together and should work together as one.
여러분이 각자가 너무나 잘났다는 걸 알고 있습니다.
I know every one of you are a great man.
하지만 그 정도 가서는 안 된다고 하는 것이 지금의 결론입니다.
But also the conclusion we have today is with that kind of level we cannot do it.
카카오 목사님을 통해서 같이 굴러갔으면 좋겠어요.
I hope you will really united together with Pastor Kako.
이제 저는 카카오와 소통할 겁니다.
I'm going to communicate with him directly from now on.
수많은 부분들을 카카오와 소통하면서 또 여러분을 점검할 것입니다.
And many things I will communicate with him so that I will be able to check your ministry and everything.
여러분을 도울 수 있는 부분들 카카오를 통해서 도울 겁니다.
Also, I will help you through Pastor Kako.
그리고 여러분의 어떤 모습들 보면서 이 사람은 그 나라 살릴 사람이 아니구나라고 하는 보고를 들으면 저는 그 보고에 신뢰할 겁니다.
And also, I will trust his report if we say that he's not the right person to save his own country.
부탁을 드립니다.
I really ask of you.
이건 단체가 아닙니다.
It's not an organization.
조직이 아닙니다.
It's not a team.
그래서 지시하고 보고하자는 얘기가 아니에요.
So I'm not saying that you need to report to us and I need to command you to go there.
정말 여러분들이 계시를 받았습니다.
If you truly have received the revelation.
아프리카와 전 세계를 정말로 복음하자라고 하는 것입니다.
let's really save Africa and evangelize the whole world.
그러려고 할 때는 이렇게 하는 것이 가장 유익하다라고 하는 얘기예요.
And I'm saying that this way will be more beneficial to do that.
저는 아프리카에 어른들이 있다는 것에 대해서 너무 감사합니다.
And I am very thankful that we have good adults, good seniors here.
특별히 우리 코파이 목사님이 계셔 주셔서 그냥 존재 자체로 저는 너무 든든합니다.
Especially Pastor Ekopai, Bishop Ekopai, him being here itself makes me really fulfilled.
그냥 계시는 것만 해도 큰 힘이 됩니다.
The presence itself gives me a lot of strength.
케냐의 존 목사님 또한 그렇습니다.
And Pastor John from Kenya is like the same to me.
이분들은 아프리카의 어른이고 앞으로 여러분들 잘 지도하실 분입니다.
And there you can regard them as adults of seniors of Africa in Africa continent, and they will guide you well.
저분들은 어른으로서 여러분을 도울 것이고
They will help you as the seniors of Africa.
본격적으로 이제 실무는 카코 목사님 통해서 진행될 겁니다.
And with the real task will be done by Pastor Kakao.
제가 꼭 이번에 이 대회 이후에는 아프리카가 자체적으로 간절히 돌아가기를 원했습니다.
And I truly pray that after this conference, Africa will start to move on their own.
3일 집회 동안 그것이 이제 가능성이 보여져서 저는 사실 너무 감사하고 행복합니다.
I'm very thankful and I'm very happy that during the 3 days conference, I was able to see the potential.
중남미에 올인하기 시작한 지가 2013년 10월 달부터입니다.
So I started to all in my time and energy on Latin America since October of 2013.
만 5년이 지났습니다.
So it has been 5 years.
아프리카는 1년이 지났습니다.
Now Africa has passed 1 year only.
이제 앞으로 2, 3년 정말 기대가 됩니다.
And I'm very exciting about coming 2 and 3 years for Africa.
정말로 응원하겠습니다.
And I will really pray for you.
마지막 때 아프리카가 크게 일어날 줄 믿습니다.
And I truly believe that in the last time, God will raise up Africa.
그리고 이제 이 보고를 통해서도 유럽에 하나님께서 은혜를 많이 주시는 걸 봅니다.
And I also have seen that God is pouring out His grace upon Europe as well.
세 분의 오심이 이유가 있다고 생각합니다.
And I know there should be reason why these 3 pastors are joining us.
그러니까 유럽 사역을 어떻게 할지 구체적으로 또 논의를 해야 될 것 같습니다.
And I think that we should talk about how we will save Europe together more precisely.
마지막 한 말씀을 부탁을 드리겠습니다.
And one more thing to add.
여러분과 저와의 만남과 리차드하고 토마스와 저와의 만남은 약간 다릅니다.
So meeting you, all of you, and meeting Pastor Thomas and Richard, it has been a little bit different.
여러분 그냥 이렇게 며칠씩 봤을 뿐입니다.
Because I had opportunities to see you for a few days only.
저분들은 하나님의 은혜로 한국에서 같이 사역을 해왔고 생활을 해왔습니다.
But by the grace of God, we've been working together with Him, and we live with them in Korea.
그리고 얼마 전에 있었던 아시아 스리랑카 집회 두 분과 같이 가서 사역을 하고 왔습니다.
And also we went to Sri Lanka together with them.
어떻게 사역을 하는지 알고 있습니다.
And they also understand how we are doing our ministry in different countries.
한국의 교회와 또 한국의 제 사역을 정확하게 알고 있습니다.
And they understand very well the Korean church and also understand our ministry well.
또 한국의 어떤 소통의 역할을 굉장히 잘할 수 있는 분들이라고 생각합니다.
And I believe that they can be the communication channel to Korea as well.
이런 분들이 또 아프리카에 있다는 것 또한 너무 감사하다고 생각합니다.
I'm also very thankful that they are here in Africa.
공식적으로 이제 3일 집회를 마쳤고요.
So officially we are done with all the schedules.
이 말이 끝나는 순간 한국 팀은 빠져나가도록 하겠습니다.
And after this, all Koreans will go to their room.
아프리카 팀들끼리 이렇게 좋은 시간 가지시길 바라고.
So the African people, you can have a good time among yourselves.
오늘부터 이제 오늘 밤부터 이제 이 여러분의 나라로 돌아가시게 될 것인데.
And starting from tonight, people are leaving for their nations.
이전과는 새로운 차원으로 정말 여러분의 나라와 아프리카를 살리는 그런 발걸음이 되시길 바랍니다.
And I hope things will be different after this conference, and your every step will be the step to save your nation and Africa.
마지막으로 인사를 드리면.
Lastly, I want to send you a greeting.
일단 여러분을 보게 돼서 저는 너무 감사합니다.
Number one, I really am happy to see you in person.
제가 소극적이다, 내성적이다라고 얘기하면 잘 안 믿으시는 것 같습니다.
So many people don't really believe that I'm an introvert. I'm a shy person.
복음 받고 나서 바뀌었을 뿐이에요.
So actually, my characteristics changed a lot after I received the gospel.
그리고 한국 사람들은 표현을 잘 안 합니다.
And Korean people usually we don't really like to express our emotions a
여러분이
lot.
싫어서 표현을 안 하는 게 아니라 원래 표현을 못 하는 게 한국 사람.
It's not like we don't like you, so we don't express. It's just us.
이 정도로 표현한다는 것은 사실은 한국 사람으로서는 대단한 겁니다.
So us expressing our emotions like this much, it's actually something.
혹시 여러분 보고 제가 뭐 환하게 웃지 않아서도 상처 받지 마시길 바랍니다.
So don't misunderstand. Even if I do not smile at you brightly,
여러분의 마음을 별로 안 들어하는구나라고 생각하지 마시기 바랍니다.
or don't think that maybe he doesn't like me that much. No, it's not like that.
저희는 여러분들이 이 자리에 오기를 간절히 원했고,
We truly hope for you to come here.
그래서 정말로 기도하는 마음으로 여러분 한 분 한 분을 모신 겁니다.
And we invited every one of you praying.
그래서 여러분들 보게 돼서 너무 감사합니다.
I'm very thankful that I see you.
그리고 여러분의 지금까지 한 사역에 대해서 감사합니다.
And I'm very thankful for your ministry.
그리고 여러분이 또 앞으로 하실 사역들에 대해서 굉장히 기대가 있습니다.
And I have great expectation for your future and your ministry as well.
특별히 모슬림권이 강한 나라에서 사역하고 계시는 여러 나라 분들 너무 감사드립니다.
Especially, I want to thank you for all pastors who are doing their ministry in the country where Muslims are very strong.
여러분의 인생에 너무 감사드립니다.
I really want to thank you for your life.
그래서 한 명도 이 걸음에 도태되는 일이 없었으면 좋겠습니다.
I hope none of you will get out of this track.
여러분이 여러분의 나라를 살리고 아프리카에 살리는 한 저와 여러분들이 계속 보게 될 것입니다.
As long as you save your nation, as long as you save Africa, we're gonna see each other again.
내년 올해 한국에서 보게 될 거고,
We're gonna see each other next year, May in Korea.
내년 이맘때에 아프리카에 더 많은 사람들과 함께 또 이런 수란노 대회를 진행하게 될 것입니다.
And also to next year, Tyrannus conference will be held in the similar time. So we're gonna see you again.
계속 보게 되길 바라고,
I hope to see you again and again.
주님 다시 오실 때까지 끝까지 완주하는 저와 여러분 되었습니다.
And I hope you and myself will be able to finish the race until our Lord comes.
아멘.
Amen.
카코 잠시 일어나시고,
So Pastor Kako, please stand up.
제가 아프리카를 위해서 기도하고 특별히 리더를 위해서 기도하는 시간 갖도록 하겠습니다.
I'm going to pray for Africa and especially pray for the leader.
특별한 하나님의 은혜가 또 리더와 아프리카 전체에 있어야 되니까요.
Because God really needs to allow His grace upon the leader and also for the Africa.
하나님 감사합니다.
Dear God, we thank you.
이 모임을 허락하셔서 감사합니다.
Thank you for this meeting.
이 자리를 통해서 아프리카 새롭게 될 수 있도록 기회를 주셔서 감사합니다.
Thank you for giving us a new opportunity so that we can renew Africa.
이제 이들이 하나 되어서 초대교회의 사도들처럼 제자들처럼 자기 나라와 대륙을 또 세계를 살리게 될 줄로 믿습니다.
I truly believe that they will become one, they will unite, and just like the early church members, they will be able to save their nation and their continent.
이들 모두에게 은혜를 주시며
Allow your grace.
목숨을 걸 만큼 깊은 계시를 주시고,
Allow the deeper revelation so that they will give their all.
또 마침내 나라와 세계를 살려낼 수 있는 그런 자들이 다 되게 하여 주시고,
Please make them strong so that they will be able to really save their nation against all the odds, against all the difficulties.
영광스러운 주님의 재림을 같이 목도하는 자들이 되게 하여 주시고,
Please let them stand firm so that we'll be able to see your glorious coming again.
마지막 때에 주께서 칭찬하시는 자가 되게 하여 주시옵소서.
Please make them strong so that they will be able to become people who will receive a reward from you.
특별히 아프리카를 위해서 기도합니다.
Especially praying for Africa.
마지막 때에 가장 크게 부흥이, 천대 부흥이 일어나는 대륙이 되게 하시고,
God, allow true revival in this continent during the time of the end time.
전 세계를 영적으로 끌고 가는 대륙이 될 수 있도록 축복하여 주시옵소서.
Also bless this continent so that this continent will be able to lead all other world.
하나님께서 아프리카의 새로운 리더로 우리 카코를 세우셨습니다.
God, you have raised Pastor Kako as a new leader of Africa.
그 인생을 준비하셨는 줄 믿습니다.
I believe that you have prepared his life.
이것이 얼마나 큰 일인지 이미 알게 하셔서 감사합니다.
You have already allowed him to know how great it is.
엄청난 역사를 감당할 수 있는 모든 힘을 하나 우리 카코에게 허락하여 주옵소서.
Please allow all your strength and power so that he will be able to take up this leadership as correctly as possible.
마침내 아프리카를 주님의 손에 돌려 드릴 수 있는 자가 될 수 있도록 축복하여 주옵소서.
Please bless him so that he will take this Africa on your hand again.
주님 영적인 힘을 주시며,
Give him spiritual strength.
지혜를 더하여 주시며,
Give him wisdom.
그 가정과 교회의 모델이 되게 하여 주시고,
Also, select him as make him as a model for his family and for his people.
마침내 모든 아프리카 나라를 돌아볼 수 있는 힘을 주시며,
Also, give him strength so that he will be able to go all around in Africa.
끌고 갈 수 있는 리더십을 허락하여 주옵소서.
Also, add him a good leadership so that he can lead all African people.
특별히 우리의 코이파이 목사님과 조 목사님을 통해서 아프리카 전체를 잘 섬길 수 있도록 저 어른에게 또 축복하여 주시옵소서.
Also, bless all these seniors, Pastor Akupay and Pastor John, so that they will be able to really guide, well guided to serve African ministry.
돌아가는 모든 걸음들을 하나님 축복하여 주옵소서.
Also, bless all the steps as they go back home.
주님 모든 영광을 홀로 받아 주옵소서.
Please, you only will be glorified, our Lord.
감사를 드리옵고 우리 주 예수 그리스도 이름으로 기도드렸습니다.
I really give you thanks, and in Jesus' name we prayed. Amen.
아멘. 감사합니다. 자, 우리 한국 팀은 빠져나가고 아프리카 팀만 남도록 하겠습니다.